Victoria Beckham doing everything she can to get away from Brooklyn Beckham's drama. We got to talk about this and more. But before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian and I spill pop culture tea videos every single day. So if you're looking for a new messy bestie, you have found me. You guys, Victoria Beckham is Victoria Beckhaming. Before we get into that tea, it is a brand new month. I am so grateful and thankful to start the month with you guys. It is February, best friend, Chinese New Year's, new blessings, opportunities, and love and light for all of us, girl, okay? I want you to take a second to think of the most impossible dream you've ever had, and I want you to consider for 1 second that it can come true. Because, girl, anything is possible, okay? Impossible, it's possible. Anyways, listen, girl, when you wear sequins, you gotta not be with other sequences because a sequence is sequencing, bitch, okay? Well, listen, Victoria Beckham, Posh Spice herself, there's an update. Okay, so first of all, you guys know the whole Brooklyn Beckham drama, okay? Now, a lot of you guys are saying that you haven't really watched that and you don't know what I'm talking about. So here's just a little refresher, best friend. Check this out. Breaking news, Brooklyn Beckham just broke his silence on Victoria and David Beckham. Let's read this together. I have been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth about only some of the lies that have been printed. I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time. For my entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. The performative social media posts, family events, and inauthentic relationships have been a fixture of the life I was born into recently. If he fucks up the Spice Girls reunion tour, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed off. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. That was insensitive. I have seen with my own eyes the lengths that they'll go through to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people to preserve their own facade. But I believe the truth always comes out. My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mom canceled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress weeks before our big day. My parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. They were adamant on me signing before the wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since. During the wedding planning, my mom went so far as to call me evil because Nicola and I chose to include my nanny Sandra and Nicola's nanny at our table because they both didn't have their husbands. Both of our parents had their own tables equally adjacent to ours. The night before our wedding, members of my family told me that Nicola was not blood and not family. Since the moment I started standing up for myself with my family, I've received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly, that were sent to the press on their orders. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media, before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere this last summer. My mom hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance to a romantic love song. In front of our 500 wedding guests, Mark Anthony called me to the stage, wherein the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife, and instead my mom was waiting to dance with me instead. She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone, and I've never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life. We wanted to renew our vows so we could create new memories of our wedding day that bring us joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment. My wife has been constantly disrespected by my family no matter how hard we've tried to come together as one. My mom has repeatedly invited women from my past into our lives in ways that were clearly intended to make us both uncomfortable. Despite this, we still traveled to London for my dad's birthday and we were rejected for a week as we waited in our hotel room trying to plan quality time with him. He refused all of our attempts, unless it was at his big birthday party with 100 guests and cameras at every corner. When he finally agreed to see me, I was under the condition that Nicola wasn't invited. It was a slap in the face later. When my family traveled to LA, they refused to see me at all. My family values public promotion and endorsements above all else. Brand Beckham comes first. Family. Love is decided by how much you post on social media or how quickly you drop everything to show up and post for a family photo op, even if it's at the expense of our professional obligations. We've gone out of our way for years to show up and support at every fashion show, every party, and every press activity to show our perfect family. But the one time my wife asked for my mom's support to save displaced dogs during the LA fires, my mom refused. Oh Lord. The narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I have been controlled by my parents for most of my life. I grew up with the overwhelming anxiety. For the first time in my life since stepping away from my family, that anxiety has disappeared. I wake up every morning grateful for the life I chose, and I have found peace and relief. My wife and I do not want a life shaped by image, press, or manipulation. All we want is peace, privacy, and happiness for us and our future family. Well, now that Brooklyn Beckham exposed his parents, Victoria Beckham and David Beckham, the comment sections are commenting, girl, okay? These two right here, their comment section, holy shit, bitch, it is scarier than Gypsy Rose's TikTok, girl. Let's check it out. Okay, so let's start with Posh Spice herself. These are some of the comments. I believe Brooklyn. We believe Brooklyn. We believe Brooklyn. And for those saying for him to drop his last name, y'all do know that's his legal name, right? I hope you're okay. And it's never easy when adult children choose estrangement. Your heart beats with a great big gaping hole. Lean on those you love. All the best to you and your husband. Oh, positive one. You went to a dance with your son for the first dance with his wife? I actually believe that he is what he is saying. For him to post like that, there has to be some truth to this. I believe everything he says. I've always sensed this about her. Definitely a case where the parents are in love with their sons in a weird way. I always got that feeling. Girl, go Brooklyn. We believe Brooklyn, or I believe Brooklyn. Look, my dyslexia, bitch. Leave Brooklyn alone, please. He deserves all the peace in the world. How can you be like that with your own son? Interesting statement from Brooklyn. I'm actually surprised Brooklyn didn't speak out sooner. He should have. What a horrific way to treat your son and his wife. It was abundantly clear to anyone in the UK that Brand Beckham was trying to control a narrative in the press, as it was bizarre how many stories were coming out about him and his wife, hoping they would both have a happy life together. Now they finally stood up for themselves. Okay, so now let's go to David Beckham's. This is his. He's always been very handsome, girl. Seriously, this is crazy. The truth has come out. Being a father happens once in a lifetime, yet it seems you care more about the Beckham brand than your own son. Oh dear, it seems Brooklyn's parents, you are more concerned about brand. Oh, did I already read that one? Your son, Brooklyn, grew up with such privilege. He should appreciate all he was given. It's the spouse's insecurity that causes this. He knows deep down you were great parents. He will stand up to that control. Brand Beckham, totally believe that. You'll put your name to anything, no matter what it represents. Poor kid. Family is everything. Treat Brooklyn like the rest of your children. Brooklyn has told the truth. All clear now, Beckhams. Your son was right about you, old man. Not old man. David Beckham breaks his silence the day after his son Brooklyn Beckham exposes him and wife Victoria Beckham. Check this out.
But what I've found personally, especially with my kids as well, use it for the right reasons. Yeah. I've been able to use my platform and my following, for UNICEF. And it's been the biggest tool to make people aware of what's going on around the world for children. And I've tried to do the same. I've tried to do the same with my children to educate them. They make mistakes. Children are allowed to make mistakes. That's how they learn. So that's what I try to teach my kids. But, you have to sometimes let them make those mistakes as well.
He also said, I have always spoken about social media and the power of social media for the good and for the bad. What kids can access these days, it can be dangerous. But what I have found personally, especially with my kids as well, use it for the right reasons. I've been able to use my platform for my following, for UNICEF, and it has been the biggest tool to make people aware of what's going on around the world for children. And I have tried to do the same with my children to educate them. They make mistakes, but children are allowed to make mistakes. That is how they learn. That is what I try to teach my kids. You sometimes have to let them make those mistakes as well. Did Brooklyn Beckham lie about the first dance? Well, best friend, new reports are suggesting that he allegedly did, because Victoria Beckham and David Beckham are now being defended. So the tea, best friend, is that Mark Anthony was the one who allegedly told Victoria to get on stage and to dance with her son, and that is when she allegedly danced with him, but that she did not hijack any first dance wedding. In fact, Nicola and Brooklyn, they had a first dance to the song Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley, and South African singer Lyoso performed it. So it wasn't Victoria Beckham, it was Mark Anthony. It says here that it was meant to be a big romantic first dance. It was predetermined specifically for Nicola and Brooklyn. Instead, Mark, a longtime pal of the Beckhams, called Brooklyn up to dance with the most beautiful woman in the room, not the new bride, but Victoria. But other sources claim that there was no hijack of the couple's first dance, that Nicola and Brooklyn had already danced together, and that Nicola had danced with her father. Victoria Beckham got together with Sporty Ginger Baby to celebrate Emma Bunton's 50th birthday. And listen, all this Brooklyn Beckham drama is not letting Victoria Beckham not spice up her life, honey, because she said, "Stop right now. You're doing too much of nothing is bad enough. And if you want to get my attention, you got to get with my friends. I've given you everything, all that joy can bring. This I swear, viva forever." Anyways, girl, listen. Girl, I could go on and on, bitch. Okay, listen, I love seeing them together. I'm so here for a Spice Girl reunion. Okay, so, best friend, right? Okay. All right, mind you, best friend, mind you. It is a lot. It is a lot, right? And there's always two sides to everything, you know. The one thing that people are saying is, if she did dance inappropriately to Brooklyn Beckham and steal the alleged first dance, where's the footage? Well, apparently, best friend Victoria Beckham and David allegedly offered the Peltz family millions of dollars so they can release the tape. But apparently, allegedly, they don't want to release any tape. I'm sorry, girl, but if I have proof that my truth is real and that I'm the one with the facts, you really think that I'm gonna sit here and not, first of all, earn a coin and sell you that tape, or you know, or literally say, "Here you go. I'm gonna leak that shit online." If you are standing in your truth, you have nothing to hide. You have nothing to hide. So what is the reason that they are not showing the tape, right? Well, anyways, Victoria Beckham is trying to kind of stay away from that drama and let Brooklyn be. And, you know, she's basically in the attitude of saying he'll come around when he's ready, right? She's standing in her truth that none of that allegedly never happened. Sporty Spice, Melanie C., reported that in the 30th anniversary of Wannabe, the Spice Girls, including Victoria Beckham, are allegedly getting together to celebrate in a massive way. There's been a lot of rumors that apparently there's going to be a Vegas residency, that there's going to be a world tour. So the last tour that they did back in 2019, Victoria Beckham was not part of it. And this time, Victoria could be part of it. So I'm so excited. I would be so freaking excited if this is real. I mean, having the Spice Girls back together, I mean, damn, like they are pop royalty, right? And I think it's a really good way for Victoria Beckham to be like, you know what? You know, she's standing in her truth that none of that happened and that her and David have been excellent parents. I'm sure there's been tons of drama. Every family has their drama, girl. I mean, you would be lying if you said your family was perfect. That's not reality, okay, girl? What reality is that we all fuck up. We all fuck up, right? And that's okay, girl. But you know what? Sometimes we just gotta let people be. And when they finally be, then we could be. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, I'm excited for the Spice Girls reunion. I think it's one of those things where, oh my gosh, like the fact that the Spice Girls could come back together and hopefully at the Sphere, you know, it's only 45 minutes from me in plane or a 4-hour car ride. I would definitely go see the Spice Girls. So let me know if you guys are excited. I think this is a wonderful way for her to kind of just like do her thing. And you know, I do hope that they can come to some kind of resolution, because at the end of the day, they are family, and you know, you want families to be together, right? So let me know what you guys think about this. Please let me know in the comments. I'm so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. I don't take any of you guys for granted. This month is going to be so blessed. I can already feel it. So I want you guys to do me a huge favor. When you hear the magical words, I want you to make a wish. Are you ready? Okay. Beedity. Bobbity. Boo!